Would you consider yourself a country music artist?
Yeah.
Okay,
I would.
Good, because I shouldn't be categorizing any sort of music.
Okay.
So you're a country musician.
Yeah, now I make country.
Now,
Yes.
as opposed to earlier when you didn't make country?
Well, when I first started, I was making alternative rock, and it crossed over into pop. So I was in that kind of whole world for a while. And then I sang a duet with this big country artist named Dierks Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've slept with him. I know him.
Okay, sick. Yeah, great, great guy.
Thank you.
Chiseled abs. And I was like, country's more fun.
Country is more fun, but it also feels like country is broader than it used to be.
100%. And it still is evolving and changing in a lot of different ways. And they tried to kick me out, but I'm holding on for dear life. So.
How did they? First of all, I want to comment on all of your tattoos because you're the first woman that I've sat this close to with a neck tattoo, I think.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah. And I've never seen it. What is that, a snake? A serpent.
Yeah.
A serpent. Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite.
Really?
I fucking hate snakes.
Yeah, I don't want to hold one, but
You want one on your neck.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when they first tried to kick you out, what happened?
No, they didn't try to kick me out for a while. I feel like country was pretty like warm and welcoming to me, and they still are. I think a lot of the people in the country world are rebels in a lot of ways, which I kind of related to. And my family's from Ohio, and so I felt kind of at home in that space where I felt very not at home or comfortable in the pop world because I was like this thick bitch and people were kind of mean and drinking green drinks, and I was like, I like getting shit-faced.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I love getting shit-faced.
A lot of people just didn't really vibe with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then country was like, we drink and have fun and it's cool, and we also like play arenas. And I was like, oh, that's sick.
I know, it's funny to think that like certain genres of music allow for certain types of behavior.
Yeah.
Like rap is one category, and then country, but pop stars aren't allowed to be fucked up or drinking or smoking. Why?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the problem, is that they should be drinking and smoking out in the open so it doesn't become such a problem.
Yeah.
You know, like a little bit of this and a little bit of that goes a longer way than most people think. You had a bad experience, right? Where you were performing somewhere and you got in trouble for being drunk on stage.
Yes.
I've also been there.
Okay. And what happened?
I didn't really get into trouble, but I did it. And like, it was a big show with thousands of people.
Yeah.
You know, and I just was embarrassed. I wasn't like a news item, but I've done
Chelsea,
it.
was it in like the time before everything was picked apart on social media, or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I know.
That's great.
So that's what,
Yeah, okay. So this is my first time actually talking about it.
Okay.
That was really crazy.
Tell us what happened.
All right. Okay. So I did a big no-no. I not only cussed on stage, hammered at the Grand Ole Opry, but it was Dolly Parton's birthday, and the Opry was doing a Dolly Parton tribute.
Uh-huh.
I haven't spoken about it because, one, I had to just chill. It was a big deal. There were 2 shows that night. I know in like stand-up comedy, like a lot of times there's 2 shows a day.
Yeah.
So there was an early show and then a late show. I had been going through something very heavy and traumatic in my life at the time. And that day was a really big day dealing with what I was going through and that I'm still going through. And I suffer from like severe PTSD. That day, I hadn't eaten, I hadn't slept in days, and I was really overwhelmed. I was like a shell of myself. And they called me, and there was a big snowstorm that day. And this other singer who's supposed to be the headliner backed out like 3 hours before. And they asked me if I would be the headliner and sing Jolene. I was like, great. I know that song. First show, fucking perfect. I take 1 shot too many, and I'm just not there in my body. I'm not there. I don't remember it. All I remember, I don't even remember what I said. I know now what I said. I said, I'm Mel King and I'm fucking hammered. And I got the curtain dropped on me. And then like, I just get like flashes of this. And I was totally 100% disassociated. And I just cut to like the dressing room, me like on the floor, just like sobbing, like, what have I done? And then the next day, it was like everywhere. And I was mortified. And I hand wrote an apology letter to the Opry, and I hand wrote an apology letter to Dolly. And Dolly called me a couple days later, and she's just like literally, she's like proof that angels exist. She just gave me really kind words and told me, well, Dolly's not mad at you. Why should the world be? And made me laugh. And like that's the kindness from women, you know? Like that's the stuff that I've received that I'll never forget ever, because I wanted to fucking die. And I don't know. I had to like remove myself from the population for a while because it wasn't getting any better. It's like, you know, if I had a dick, would it be different? I don't know. But I also didn't want to even put any energy into that because one, regardless of what I was doing in my life and what was happening to me, that I don't feel like I owe to anybody in the fucking world to try and explain. And I also don't think that it does excuse the fact that maybe I shouldn't have fucking been drinking. You know, this is like a sacred stage and I fucked up. And so for all the people who are asking for an apology from me, hey, if you were there that night and I didn't get a chance to say I'm sorry to you, I apologize.
And, you know, I saw like your post from around that time as well. And the fact that you were like, to everyone, you know, who was there, I love you and I'm sorry. And to everyone who's just being a dick to me on the internet, I love you and I'm sorry. That weren't your exact words, but I thought that was like very big of you because people are kind of just nasty all of the time about anything on the internet these days.
People were telling me to surrender my child, that I'm an unfit mother, and that I should off myself. And like,
which is crazy.
Maybe I did have a little like aggression built up of that. And it's like the people who were sending me these messages weren't at the show. And like, I feel, you know, Dolly even said it, like, no one is going to be harder on me than me. Like, I was very, very hard on myself. And I'm mortified. Like,
yes. That's it. And that's it. That's all you can do. Is like we all make mistakes like that. Everyone makes mistakes, whether they're that kind of mistake or a different kind. It doesn't matter. So,
but I will say, like, that was me hitting a massive brick wall. And I made changes in my life. And I feel like I'm becoming a stronger person because of it. I'm not grateful for it, but at the same time, like, I can find a silver lining in literally anything. And like, I'm going to choose to use this as a tool to not defeat me, but to make me hopefully a better person, and I can learn from my mistakes. Now, I don't drink before I go up and sing, and they're the best shows I've ever played, and I'm proud to say that, you know?
Yeah. I still drink before I perform.
Okay.
I want to announce that.
Good.
So I don't want anyone to get their hopes up
Sick.
that something different is going to happen for me.